All right, it's time to list my top 10 favorite horror movie scores. I got like 20 honorable mentions. There's so many great scores out there, and this is like the score, like from beginning to end, the music, not like songs that play within. I'm talking about just the score composed for the movie and not just the theme music. So Jaws will not be on this list because when it comes to Jaws, it's like I just like the theme. Dun 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 dun, and then that's it. Like the rest of the music by John Williams, it's good, but it's not something that I want to like throw on Spotify and listen to. Like these are scores that are good mostly from beginning to end. And so those are the ones that made the list, not just ones that had a catchy theme. So just keep that in mind. And I got a lot of honorable mentions, and I'm not going to be able to play the music though, because YouTube copyright shit. I'm not going to like play the music because I'll just get in trouble. So let's jump into my 10 honorable mentions, I guess. I got a lot of honorable mentions, so my 11 through 20. Not going to talk long about each one. 20 is Hellraiser by Christopher Young. Very good composer. Did a lot of horror films like Sinister, I believe he did that one. He did Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Christopher Young's a good composer, and the Hellraiser score is good. It has like a church bell sound that they use. And number 19 will be Return of the Living Dead. Pretty fun score. The music throughout, the songs used, but again, this is about the music made for the movie, and the music in this one that plays during like the opening credits and throughout, it's pretty good. Get you in the mood. And You're Next is the next one, and just watched that movie recently, and I forgot how great the score was in that movie. It's kind of a throwback, got kind of a throwback vibe to it, and also modern at the same time. And it's very good. I was like shocked. I forgot how great that score is. That's a score that I always like forget is so good until I watched it the next time. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how great this was. And Psycho had to throw it on the list somewhere. It's very iconic. Bernard Herrmann's Psycho music is very famous. The shower scene and the opening credit music, and it's recreated for Reanimator. It's very similar to Reanimator's theme. Obviously, they stole from Bernard Herrmann. And Shadow in the Cloud would be the next honorable mention. That's a newer movie from a year ago, I believe. That has a very like old school score, and it's just the best part of that movie. Really, is the soundtrack. The score from in that movie is great. It's a fun movie, but the score is the best part. Next honorable mention will be Black Christmas, the original. It's pretty haunting. It's like a piano, like out of tune, and it's just very disturbing. And the movie's pretty disturbing. I got this waxwork vinyl here to show you. It's pretty cool looking cover here. Got the telephone with all the blood around it. It's got Billy's eye in here, and a paragraph here from the composer himself, Carl Zittrer, explaining how he made the soundtrack for the movie. So it's a good record to pick up if you're a fan of this soundtrack. It's even got like the phone calls that you can hear from the movie on it. Next honorable mention will go to Hereditary. The score was done by Colin Stetson, who did the recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. And this score is just unsettling and just creates this sense of dread throughout the entire film. And it's just one of a million aspects of the movie that is terrific. I think the whole movie from beginning to end is flawless. It's a masterpiece. Next honorable mention will go to the Starry Eyes soundtrack. Another record here from Waxwork. And this one does not open up like the Black Christmas one did, but it comes with a little picture and another paragraph from the guy who made the score, Jonathan Snipes. And yeah, it's got this like pentagram on it. It's very like music box type of score, and it's terrific. And my final two honorable mentions will go to It Follows, which I believe the score to that movie is the best part. I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I like it, it's fine, but I'm not that big on it. But the score is definitely the best part. And final honorable mention will be John Carpenter's The Fog. It has a great theme, and there's moments here and there in the movie where the music is really good, but it's not all great, so that's why it didn't make the top 10. All right, so now let's jump into my top 10. Number 10 will be Final Destination 3, which I know is going to shock some people, but go back, watch the movie, watch the first one also. I think the score to this franchise, the first three by Shirley Walker, is underrated. I think these scores are very scary. I mean, just listen to the music during the like opening logo and the credits at the beginning. Just it's so like ominous. It's so terrifying to me, and I love the music throughout and the songs also. I mean, Roller Coaster and the Love Train song at the very end, which is a song that only exists in this movie alone. You can't find it like anywhere except for YouTube. And it's just for this movie. You can't find it on like iTunes or Spotify. It's a song that was written and made just for this movie. And it's a great song, but the score by Shirley Walker throughout, I think, is top notch. Number 9, we'll go to Friday the 13th. The score by Harry Manfredini is iconic, and we all know the story about how he came up with the kiki ma 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 sound, and it works. It's so effective, and I just love the use of like stringed instruments, and it's kind of Bernard Herrmann-esque, kind of psycho in a way during like the opening credits, and the music throughout is pretty great. It's not something I can listen to on Spotify. It mainly works for the movie, but still a very memorable score. Number 8 will go to Charles Bernstein's score for A Nightmare on Elm Street. Charles Bernstein also did the score for The Entity, Cujo, and April Fool's Day. And this is his best one, and it's crazy to hear that he made it like in a rush, like he didn't have much time to make it. I mean, it just shows you how great he is as a composer that he was able to get this out like this quality out so fast, and it's so memorable. It's dreamlike and just eerie, and the song also, the like nursery rhyme, 1 2 Freddy's coming for you, and just the music that plays behind those lyrics is very chilling. Number 7 will go to John Harrison's score for Creepshow, my favorite anthology and my favorite George Romero film. He did the score for other Romero films as well, like Day of the Dead. And yeah, I got this vinyl here from Waxworks, and it's got like even a page here flips, and yeah, you got a message here from John Harrison talking about the score in the movie. And yeah, just if you're a fan of this score, definitely pick up this record. It has a really good piano riff, and I like that the music kind of changes its style in each segment to kind of match the tone of each one, because they're not all the same tone. Like the second one's really goofy, so the music in the second segment is a little goofy, and then the third segment is mostly very dark and serious, which is my favorite one, and the music in that one is pretty dark and serious, and it's just a phenomenal score. John Harrison knocked it out of the park with Creepshow. Number 6 will go to a movie that a lot of people hate. I enjoyed it. It's a new movie, and it's from John Carpenter and his son, and Daniel something. I didn't write the name down, sorry. But the 3 people who did the recent Halloween movies, and then the new Firestarter. I thought the new Firestarter score was awesome. Kind of sounds a bit like the recent Halloween movies in a couple of moments, but it's just terrific beginning to end. I was just like amazed at how great it sounded when I was in the theater. Maybe that's why I enjoyed the movie so much, was just because of the music. But I was also into the story, and I liked the movie. Sue me. Everyone fucking hates the Firestarter remake. I liked it. It might even be in my top 10 by the end of the year. Number 5 will go to the Goblin score in Suspiria. This one kind of has a music box quality to it, and it's very repetitious, but it just fits the film like a glove. It just works. It's so effective, and I could just listen to it every day. I just rewatched Suspiria recently, and man, that movie just gets better with each watch. It's probably my new favorite Argento movie. Like that one and Deep Red go back and forth, but the score in Suspiria, I think, is my favorite score in an Argento film. Like Goblin did Deep Red, also they did Tenebrae, but I think their best work might be Suspiria. Number 4 will go to a score by Joseph Bishara. I hope I'm saying that right. Bishara. He does a lot of James Wan movies, and the movie I chose is one of my favorite movies now of all time. It's top 10, and that is Malignant. Got the vinyl right here. Again, believe this is Waxwork Records. Got the iconic, to me at least, iconic weapon on the back. Hopefully Gabriel becomes an icon. He deserves to be an icon in horror. And yeah, there it is too. Awesome trophy weapon. And I love the score in this movie. Just again, beginning to end. That's why I made the list, is because it's good, not just in one or two spots. It's good throughout. And it kind of sounds like the Don't Torture a Duckling soundtrack a bit. There's one sound in the movie that he uses, and it's like that sound that like echoes, and it's like almost lifted from Don't Torture a Duckling, but I don't mind. But yeah, just terrific score. It's like modern, but also kind of retro. Kind of feels like an '80s score, but more modernized, and it's just very terrific. I legit listen to this soundtrack almost every day on Spotify. Number 3 will be a two-way tie, and it's Child's Play 2 and the remake. Those are my two favorite scores in the Child's Play franchise, my favorite horror franchise. But the remake score is phenomenal. It's done by Bear McCreary. It's just amazing. I mean, there's no other words to use to describe it. Like, I know a lot of people hate this remake too. I guess I like remakes everyone hates. I like the Firestarter remake, and I like the Child's Play remake. And the score is one of many things about this movie I love. Bear McCreary is a great composer. He's done many other like action films and horror films, and like I believe he did like Hellfest. Like, I love whatever instrument he used to create the like theme music that you hear in this one. But it's not just the theme music I like in this one, but like whatever, is it like a xylophone or something? It just sounds amazing. And here's my vinyl for Child's Play 2. I believe this is Waxwork also. I think all of them are. And this score was done by, I believe, Graham Revel, if I'm saying that right. Did a lot of horror movies like Freddy vs. Jason. And we got a picture of Miss Kettlewell getting killed in here. It's a cartoon drawing. One of the iconic scenes from the movie. I just love this soundtrack as well. You got a picture of burnt Chucky at the end, with all that hot plastic on him. And yeah, just this score in this movie always, creeped me out as a kid. So for nostalgic reasons, I chose it, but it's also a kick-ass score. Number 2, we'll go to yet another remake. Didn't do it on purpose, I promise. They just so happen to have amazing soundtracks, and the remake of Maniac kicks ass as a very like retro synth 80s sound to it, and it's just phenomenal. Like, there's no other way to say it. Just listen to it. I listen to it on Spotify, like the Child's Play remake. I listen to that one from time to time, and Malignant. Like, these are the ones that I actually will listen to when I'm at work. Number 1, easy peasy, knew it right away. John Carpenter's Halloween, the very simplistic piano riff that is just absolutely iconic. Like, people who haven't even watched the movie, you play the score and they instantly know, like, hey, that's supposed to be from the Halloween movie, right? Like, everybody knows it. It's just a terrific score, and I don't have the vinyl for the original, but I do have the vinyls for Halloween and Kills, not Ends, and Halloween 2018 here. And I think these are by Sacred Bones Records, not Waxwork. This one has a picture of Michael leaving the burning house. And this one has, let's find out. This has like a painting drawing of them, you know, putting Michael in the basement. And what are your guys' thoughts? Do you prefer Halloween Kills score or 2018? They're both pretty good, but I think I like 2018 slightly more. Daniel Davies, that's the name. I couldn't think of it earlier. It's Cody Carpenter, John Carpenter, and Daniel Davies. So that's the third guy. So yeah, number one, Halloween. What is your favorite horror movie score of all time? Let me know your top 10, top 20, whatever you want it to be. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's all an opinion. You don't need to get butthurt about it.